You feel like you do no damage, because you don't. And it's only partially Activision's fault. Before we get into this video is aimed at addressing skill-based damage and why I feel that people think it exists. Let's jump right into why it's partially Activision's fault. You literally do less damage than you ought to, everywhere except for hardcore. You see, Black Ops 6 is carefully balanced on time to kill, as any self-respecting game should be. Obviously, if you don't take into account how fast a target goes down as some metric, what are you even balancing there? Here's a spreadsheet I made. Notice anything? The difference between shots to kill and headshots to kill is 0 or 1 shots. That is 0 to 1 full bullet delay. Now, there's an issue. Headshot TTK is considering perfect headshot accuracy. Take the XM4 for example, our precious starting rifle. It does 23 damage on a body shot. It does 26 damage on a headshot. Players have 100 HP. I'm going to skip straight to the answer. You can miss 1 headshot before missing the 4-shot lethal. Some guns, like the AK-74, have a consistent TTK, 276 milliseconds for both body and headshots. That means no matter what, if you hit someone, you'll kill them in 276 milliseconds. That's like a quarter of a second. So we have one puzzle piece. Your headshots are worthless. If you ever hear a buddy mutter, "I shot you in the head, why aren't you dead?" when he dies, this is why. Activision is actively hindering skill expression by making headshots not matter unless you have a literal aimbot or spend 6 hours a day in aim labs. Another reason why it feels like you do less damage has to do with netcode. Netcode is the bane of every FPS player's existence. Netcode is why you die behind corners, and unfortunately netcode is why you get a decent portion of the kills that you do. Let's talk about Peeker's advantage. You people, Call of Dutyans, is that right? Anyways, you call it cameraing, and I genuinely wish your community was no longer allowed to name anything. Peeker's advantage, as the name implies, is the advantage given to peekers. Wow. This is through the netcode, literally allowing the peeker to see their victim before the victim can see them. And it's the same reason you die behind corners, because on your screen, you move behind the corner, but on their screen, they shot you. How other games solve this problem is through game design and map design. Valorant, as an example, is a slow and methodical game where every possible angle is designed to give someone an advantage or disadvantage through a concept called angle advantage. Big surprise. Can Activision do this? Probably not. Is it their fault? Also probably not. You buy their games every year and they don't really have to think about map design. There's another issue lurking that may make it feel like your bullets aren't doing anything. You aren't actually firing any. If you're playing on Wi-Fi, or the routing for your ISP is poor, or Activision servers are experiencing a sudden bout of fire, then there's a chance that you're dropping packets somewhere. Packet loss is where one or more of your packets gets lost. Wow. This can result in actions, such as shooting your gun, to never actually happen. If the action of shooting your gun never happens, you can't do damage, and the myth of skill-based damage lives on. The last issue is actually a pretty big one. The last issue is skill issue. If you lack the map knowledge for proper crosshair placement, if you lack the knowledge about crosshair placement, if your movement is stiff, if you never even attempt to break anyone's ankles, if you can't counter your own movement with aim to stay on target, if you don't take the time to optimize your loadout for TTK and playstyle, if your sensitivity is up too high to track smoothly. My point is, there's a lot of factors that go into a gunfight in any FPS game, and if you blame the game instead of yourself for dying, you won't make progress as a player. If you're the kind of player to dig up unused patents and scream EOMM, consider introspection. That's it. That's the video. It feels like you do no damage because Activision sucks at balancing, can't do or won't compensate for netcode, and you also suck at the game. Wait, this is the script?